Hey, welcome back everyone to the Coffman 1/8 scale starter build. When we last did our last couple of videos, I was showing you how I scratch built a lot of the components. Before I put it together, I want to show you exactly what I did. I will be putting this together, the main components, with two-part epoxy, very lightly. What's great about this kit is, of course, I scratch built all this and hollowed all this out, but the way they designed the kit is everywhere where there's either a tab or the way you insert it, there's a mounting for it. So they really took a lot of thought in that. And one really cool thing here is, and you can see it right here, you can see that it's rounded and then it has a straight, and they do the same here. So you can't really mess up how you put the parts on. The only thing is, like I said, the instructions online, thank God they're there, because, you know, even myself, I questioned, did I put it the right way? And when you look at it, yeah, it is the right way. This one here, it's just a flat tab. They do have the tab and it mounts right on the side. So usually what I do to prep this, and I'll just do it for you, is I scrape this. I do a little, make sure you get the paint off. You got to get the paint off. There's the bottom gear. So I've blackened this out. You're not going to see it. And if I flip this around, you can see the internals of that gear, which is attached to this. So this gear here, and it's on a shaft, and you can see the pump and all that in there. I kind of, a little bit of artistic thing there, you know what I mean? Is it accurate? You know, it looks like it's full. This is pretty close. These are straight cut gears, and that's what it looks like in the photos. These are straight cut. This gear again would connect to the crankshaft, and as it shoots, this is the way I'm thinking it works. Please correct me if I'm wrong or leave a comment. I'm thinking the piston shoots ahead and turns that shaft. There's a shaft at the bottom that rotates the engine, and it's on like a spline gear, and when it goes back, it exhausts. That's the way I'm thinking it works. I mean, I've looked at some of the drawings, and in some of the drawings, it kind of shows that. But that's what I'm thinking how it works. So you got to think about how the mechanics of it. So anything that I attach here, I'm going to scrape, like get something so that the JB Weld or whatever you're using, you could use like a crazy glue, or I use this glue as well, the Instacure. I'll be using that for all the plumbing. But for the major components, I'm going to use JB Weld. That's two-part epoxy. I will mix it up here so you guys can see that. It's really, really simple to work with. So 2 equal parts. I don't need a lot. Let's do 2 equal parts. And another thing I did do, this stuff smells bad too, by the way, if anybody's worked with it. And one big thing is really mix it up well. That's a very key to it, curing it. It doesn't take long to cure, and you know that the bond's going to hold. So that's why I prefer it. And anybody who's built any heavy-duty garage kits will kind of say, yeah, well, a lot of people just use a crazy glue, which is definitely fine. There's some other glues out there as well, but I find that the JB Weld, if it's going to be transported or anything else. So that's really mixed well. And I made a kind of a stick here, and you're not going to put a lot. You don't need a lot on here. Let's run it along here. This is the main, and I do have it mounted to this board. So I had, like I showed you in the last video, I had the JB Weld, the bolt on the bottom. So nobody's going to see all this. So just kind of like get it laid in there. Okay, and then once you squish it down, these have, if you can see here, these have little tabs, so that works out perfect, and it actually shows the way it's going to go. Okay, and then just push down, and that's in. That's pretty good. I'm not going to glue this in yet. This actually fits on here, and what had happened was, when I redid this, the tab now is gone, so I relatively know where it's going to go because I marked it, But I mean, you got to be careful if you're doing stuff like this, like cutting it up or doing anything like that. I wanted it to be kind of exposed a little because they said we could do pretty much anything we want to do with our modeling on this, because they want to see if it's adaptable to do anything. It's a really well built kit, like a lot of good engineering in it. And then again, a little bit, don't need a lot. Okay, just put some on there, and that is gonna go, that's the straight side there, so we're gonna put it down this way. And I know that because I looked at the drawings that is facing, that notch in there is facing that way with the two pieces of plumbing. This one here, same thing. So I just mixed enough. You don't want to mix a lot because you can always remix. They did a test on JB Weld, and it actually was probably one of the best epoxies out there. So now I can grab this whole thing and turn it. That's what I like, because now you're not handling it all. This is such a great kit. I mean, if the engine's going to be anything like this, there you go. So you don't have a lot. You don't got stuff coming out the sides because you don't want to make a mess, right? Just a little bit. You just need a little bit there. So now that's the build so far. And like I said, I mounted it on here so I'm not handling it all. It makes it really, really easy. And then I can dismount it off of here once I'm done. It just has the initial paint job right now. I am going to do a little bit of weathering, and I have to sort of set this in the right position so you could see the spring and all that in there. The gears are really cool. You can actually see the gears in there. There are a bunch of levers that go on here, and the shotgun. That's going to be what I'm working on next. I have a lot on my plate. I'm building quite a few kits. I'm actually working on the half track as well from Das Work. That's a beautiful kit as well, and I opened that up, so I'll give you guys some video of that. Please subscribe, put a like there. I'd like to give you guys more videos. This is really a fun build, and like I said, it's got to still be weathered. I'm going to continue on. A lot of the parts I'm going to pre-paint because it's a lot easier pre-painting, and then you can do your touch-ups after. But JB Weld for me is probably the best way to secure this, in my opinion. But you know, everybody has different ways of doing it, so it's all good. Whatever works for you. But I'm just saying that's an option, and it's relatively cheap, and you get a lot. Like there's lots here. So if you're in a bind and you're gluing a heavy part or something you don't want to come apart, use a JB Weld. Okay, so till next time, like I said, please subscribe, put a like there. Go to TYPHOON Legacy, help them out a little bit. I mean, they're doing a great job with this, and I'm so honored to actually be building it. It's a fun little kit, and I've taken it a bit further. Like I said, when you see my half track, you'll understand. I really love the mechanics of things, and I did do a HAWKER TYPHOON in 1/24 scale. If any of you haven't seen it yet, I will post it eventually here once I go over it, because I have to actually repair a few things on it. But yeah, come back, because I'm going to be adding a lot of content for you modelers, and we'll get inspired together and build. Okay, till next time.